My bio sister tracked me and now wanted to be a part of my life.
What is she, the CIA?
Here is the issue. I was adopted as a baby. I, 26 female, have no clue what happened to anyone in that family, as I have never had a desire to look into my past. Mom, 59 female, and dad, 63 male, are wonderful and giving people. I have a sister, Elizabeth, who is my twin. Quote, we aren't related by blood, but are the same age. We were both adopted, so we had that to bond over. By the way, this comes from Dramamly, and if you wanted to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice cufully, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP said, I met the love of my life, Jake, 30 male, and we've been together for 4 years. We're getting married in December. I have already planned out the guest list. No kids will be there, and I'm super excited. I have never really had the urge to look for my bio siblings. I guess at this point, I wouldn't really be their true sibling emotionally because we have lived different lives. Since I have medical records and grew up without them, I never felt the need to meet them. But my bio sister, Janice, 27 female, tracked me down about a month ago. She wrote me on Facebook in July, but I didn't check my other folder until September. It was a really long letter that talked about who she was, how she tracked me down, and said she was looking for the rest of the siblings. She said she really wanted to connect with the rest of us because she needed to find her past. I didn't know what to think, but her story added up. She had some pictures, and since I was a pretty ugly baby, it's obviously us together as toddlers. She also knew some details. She could be a fake, but I didn't think it was. I showed mom and dad, and they said it checked out. We have been talking for a few weeks now. She has called me twice a week, texting me every day. She's nice, but I have been losing interest. She's just some stranger to me. Emotionally, I find it very hard to recognize this is someone I should care about. On some deep level, shouldn't I feel like we're super close sisters? I don't get the same excitement talking to her that I do with Elizabeth. She has 2 kids who she talks about a lot. She tells me she showed them my picture and they've been showing people Auntie Emily. She also told me she took off time in December for the wedding. She just might need to stay with me because she's low on cash.
Yikes.
Low on cash. Feels like maybe that's the reason she came to you.
Not good. Not good. And there's the first red flag.
We got it.
I was waiting for it. I know this makes me sound nasty and ungrateful. She's super into meeting me. Said I am the most normal sibling and she's so excited to have someone to share her life with. She sounds really lonely. I know she's built this up in her head as being the best thing to happen to her in forever, but she isn't someone I would have in my life if she didn't have some connection to my past. Every time we talk, she goes on and I'm just counting down the minutes. I have tried to work out a way to be there for her, but I can't bring myself to truly care. I don't wish her ill, but she's just another stranger to me. She isn't family emotionally. I know I could try to form the bond, but at this point, I don't see the point. At 26, I have pretty much established the sort of people I want in my life. She just has views I find strange, is rude in ways I find annoying, and despite having biological nieces, I just don't feel like they're anything but someone else's kid. Does this make me a bad person? Am I horrid? I feel guilty as heck because I can tell she wants this so bad. Even then, even if we did become friends, she would never be my sister because being a sister means a lot more than genetics to me. I'm not sure how to tell her, hey, I don't want to talk anymore. I've talked with my significant other, and he says if I want her out of my life, then I just need to handle it. He doesn't really like her that much. They've talked, but he says she puts a lot of pressure on me to be close to her when this stuff doesn't always even work. Any advice would be so appreciated. And we've got relevant comments, but what do you think?
Honestly, I don't think that you're like the a-hole in this OP. Because, like, if you don't want a relationship, then you don't want a relationship. Like, it's cool that she reached out and it's cool that she wants one, you know, and she's discovering her past and whatnot, but she can't force that on you.
No, absolutely not.
She cannot force you to feel, like, have this connection of blood sisters or something. Like, I don't know. You can't force someone to feel a specific way towards someone, especially if, you know, you don't care to know your past. And that's okay. You don't have to. You know, that's your boundary. So she just kind of needs to get it.
I agree. And she's annoying, apparently.
Yeah.
That's her worst crime. I feel like in terms of how do we go about this, you just sit her down, go get coffee, and say, hey, I'm really appreciative that you reached out to me. I don't think I'm ready for the type of relationship you want. And then I don't know where to go from there.
And then you.
Spring Heel Jill says, wait, did she invite herself to your wedding? What? That was a crazy thing that she did. OP says she did invite herself and her 2 kids to my wedding and to stay with me while I have everything else going on. I'm not sure what she thought was going to happen. I was going to be jolly about someone being in my home with kids while I was getting ready for my wedding and a honeymoon. And we've got an update 4 days later. In the last few days, I've done a lot of thinking. The short of the long, I have decided not to have her in my life anymore. What happened? Janice called me last night. I tried to be polite, but she went into a big long rave about all the plans she had for when she visited me. She brought up the wedding. Would there be time to see a long list of local places together? OP is fully planning a wedding. She doesn't have time to be a tour guide. This is crazy. Did she have a +1? No, you don't even have a 1.
Let alone a plus.
Yeah. What was the dinner options? Nothing for you. She already bought the girls' dresses in blue with baskets so they could be flower girls with the rest of the children. She wanted to see her date and who would watch the girls while we were eating dinner. You! At home! She was looking forward to meeting our family members in December. She needed to know what date she should arrive. She would need to stay with me because she spent all her extra cash on your wedding. I was pretty shocked because she had done all of this without even confirming she was invited. Not sure what made me ask, but I asked her if she really was in contact with the rest of the siblings. She told me some very concerning things. She had been in contact with 2 of them, a sister and a brother. She said they tried to talk to her but then cut off contact. They were actually doing really well, even though they were in foster care until they aged out. They had their own kids, were married, had decent jobs. They had refused to introduce her to their kids and got mad she wanted to know more details about their lives with our parents. The rest of the siblings turned down contact with her the moment she wrote them. She said I was the longest communication she had with someone in a long time. She just wanted to meet me so badly she had spent more money than she had to look nice. She wanted me to help her and for her girls to finally have a good family. I just told her the truth. You've been coming on too quickly. I'm a bit concerned because you're trying to invite yourself to my wedding. We have never met. We're pretty much strangers. I don't feel comfortable having you come stay in my home before, after, or during the wedding. I have a sister and parents. I was raised with them. I do not view any of the siblings as actual family members. I'm not their aunt in anything but genetics and do not intend to recognize them as my nieces. If I have nibblings, they will be when Elizabeth has children. I would like to cut contact. I'm sorry you've been hurt, but I do not have the energy to help you overcome these issues. I don't want to talk about people I don't know, mistreatment I don't remember, or be part of any reunion stories. I would prefer to focus on my own family. By the way, you guys should focus on listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to the story. Any final thoughts?
I feel bad.
Me too.
It's just, she's too much. She came on too quickly. She expected a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, I got a wedding to worry about. I don't want to rekindle or whatever. Like,
yeah, it's such poor timing for OP.
And I feel like even the timing, like, even if they weren't getting married or whatever, like, just to, like, invite yourself over and do all this, it's just way too much. I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. And inviting your 2 kids as well. It's too much. Go away. Leave us alone.
I mean, I like the message that you sent. I think, like, it was very stern. I don't think that it's mean. People could take it as mean, but I just think it was very much like, okay,
direct.
Yeah, this is what has happened. This is how I feel, and this is how this is my solution.
This is how we're gonna proceed.
You know, she can't take it the wrong way, I don't think.
Jane has told me she didn't have anyone else. I was the last member of her family. I reminded her that her children were her family, and she should focus on making friendships. I hung up on her. She has tried calling back multiple times. I blocked her on everything I could think of. I'm gonna have my personal number changed in the next few days. I feel relieved this is done with. Final comments. Plastic Venus says you did the right thing. For both of you, the fact that her other siblings cut off contact shows that this lack of boundaries is a broader problem and eventually would have dragged you down. Whilst it's sad that she's in this position, she's not your responsibility and in fact is leaning dangerously close to being a liability. Hopefully she backs off and leaves you alone. OP says, I do as well. Jake, my SO, doesn't think she will. We have a security ready for her showing up, and my family is aware of everything and have blocked her as well. And there we go. All good news. Yeah, I would be worried that she would show up at the wedding uninvited. If you have security, then we're all good.
I don't know. She just seems like a sad, lonely girl.
Yeah.
Doesn't have anyone and is just reaching out for any just strand of family or strand of something, like just to find something. But it's like, girl, you can, you know.
Therapist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's reach out to a therapist first.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Than trying to confide in basically strangers.
But that's the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up.
I promoted my sister's ex after they broke up, and it was not pretty.
He's just too good at his job, sis.
I, 40 male, am in a weird situation here. My sister, Sarah, 34 female, had been with Josh for 3 years. I own a business. Without getting too specific, I have 8 employees right now, so fairly small. I hired Josh despite him having less experience than typical for a new hire. Originally as a favor to Sarah, but he was a natural fit. From day one, he's been a huge contributor. By the way, this comes from Representative Map767, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit, as OP says. All was fine and dandy until about 3 months ago. It came out that Josh had been sleeping with Sarah's best friend, Ashley.
Oh my.
Ashley is now pregnant. Obviously, Sarah left him, is now living with our parents in the house I pay for. He is now engaged to Ashley and living with her. I don't see this lasting. While this was happening, I tried to remain professional with Josh. While I think he's a filth-tastic guy, technically personal stuff shouldn't be used against him at work. One of my longest employees unfortunately has had some major health complications come up and he unofficially retired, keeping him on the books for insurance, but he won't be working for a while. Hate to say it, but Josh really stepped up in his absence. He's been incredibly essential in keeping us running and successful now more than ever before. Now that it's become clear that my other employee won't be coming back anytime soon, I needed to replace him. Josh is the natural candidate, and all my other employees told me to promote him. So I gave it to him with about a 50% raise.
So actually, he said, I'm not only going to promote you, but also here's a little more money.
50% more is crazy.
That's pretty insane.
Wow.
Did we find out why they broke up again?
He was sleeping with their best friend and got her pregnant and is now engaged to her best friend.
That was a bad move.
I don't know. It's hard because he's helping your business.
Yeah.
And like business and social are very different, but it is a weird situation you've been put in. And I know you didn't put yourself there, but
I gotta say, I feel like if I were in this situation, my brother would not be doing that.
Yeah.
That is like biggest brother betrayal you can do.
Yeah.
Raise and promotion and 50% raise.
Oh, because I don't know.
I guess I'll need it for that kid he's gonna have.
What the person before him was making, and he's been flourishing in it. Awkward part about that is Sarah just found out he was promoted from a mutual friend and is livid with me.
Fair.
She gave me an earful, as did my parents, and now I'm feeling pretty conflicted. I feel like personal life and professional should be treated separately, but my family is saying this is different. Any advice? And there is an edit.
I'm gonna be honest. Yes, this might have been the right move professionally, but your family's not gonna like you for it. And sometimes you kind of have to like make choices like that in life.
Yeah.
Do you want your professional life to, continue upwards? Or do you want to make your family happy? And that's literally genuinely the question you have to ask yourself.
Yeah. And plus, like, I don't know, because it's also her business. So, like, and he's helped significantly.
OP's a guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
It helps with his business.
Mm.
You could hire someone, but they're not going to be as, experienced or maybe even successful as this person because they've been there for a while and just know how to do it.
Absolutely.
It's like the obvious choice, but they also made a horrible move towards your family.
I genuinely think you are not in the wrong from a professional standpoint.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean your family has to like you for it.
It is hard, OP.
Yeah.
Well, there is an edit. They were never married or engaged, just living together. No kids together. I am not firing anyone. He hasn't broke any work rules, and that would screw over everyone else who works for me. We do profit sharing, and that would require turning down jobs due to not having bandwidth to take them on. It would also require more hours from anyone. I'm not going to do that as that wouldn't help anybody. People keep saying just hire someone else, but we have a national worker shortage, and this is a specialized position. Even if the perfect candidate came in, it would take at least 6 months to get them to speed. And that's with a candidate with ample experience. We have had open jobs for our entry-level roles that we train for months that aren't getting filled. Pay starts at $50K. We just haven't had qualified workers applying who are willing to do the work. It is not so simple. Timeline goes like 2 years ago, hires Josh. Day 1, old employee takes short leave. Josh fills in temporarily at first. A couple weeks later, this all comes out. Josh is still filling in and doing great. 3 weeks later, old employee shares he will not be coming back due to health reasons. All my other employees tell me how great Josh is doing and how much they like working for him. Business is booming, and they tell me how much they think Josh deserves the promotion officially. 2 weeks later, I have to make a decision, so I give him the promotion purely for performance reasons. Or a couple weeks after that, Sarah finds out, and that was in the last week.
So he had only been working for a couple weeks with you before you gave him the promotion?
But he was filling in. So technically you could replace him, but you're just not getting people to come in.
Yeah.
So, and that is hard. Like, it's hard to find a replacement, especially in like specific work. I don't know exactly what you do, OP, but it seems like how you're describing it, it's like very specific work that has to do with technical things, it seems. So like, if you're not in it, it's hard to explain. But also, you said that the perfect candidate were to come in, it would take them 6 months, but it didn't take Josh that much, and he had no experience.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like, yeah, he didn't have any experience, but it was like, whatever, he'll learn, and he did learn, and now he's doing great. So I feel like
someone else could do it.
Someone else could do it. It's just no one has come forward to do it. It is hard because obviously it's your business. You don't want it to just be destroyed just because this guy screwed your sister over.
Yeah.
It's hard. Oh, this is such a pickle.
Hard. The thing is, like, again, you gotta choose right here between your business and your family.
Yeah. If you were to fire Josh, you would have to fill that position. If you couldn't fill that position, your employees are all going to be overworked. They're probably going to be mad because not only did you lose one employee, you're now losing 2 employees out of the 8 that you have. So now you only have 6 employees trying to do an 8-person job. Everyone's going to be like overworked, tired, exhausted, frustrated, angry, whatever. And it's not like he's doing a bad job either. No. He just did bad things outside of work.
He's just a bad person.
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah. So this is hard. This is hard. Curd_1. Let me ask you a hypothetical question. If Josh cheated with your wife or girlfriend, being an exemplary employee at the same time, what would you do? Edit. My take, you have every right to put your business above your sister, but she has every right to feel betrayed by you. But spare us that BS about supporting her.
Completely agree with that comment. Because this is not supporting her. This is you supporting your business, which you're allowed to do.
But just admit that.
Yeah, admit that it's at the expense of your sister.
Unfortunately, sorry, sis, but business is booming and I cannot just fire another person.
Sorry. And I'm also planning on hiring your ex-boyfriend's affair child. We're going to raise him up too.
OP responds, that really makes me think.
He sounds like that's such a businessman response. That really makes me think. I'm going to think about that while I keep doing what I'm doing.
Give me 2 to 5 business days. I will think about this and send it in an email.
Titled, That
My
Really
Decision.
Made Me Think.
What was it?
That really made me think.
That really made me think. I feel like I wouldn't be able to be objective in that situation, so I would make the emotional decision to fire him. I don't know if that would actually be an ethical business decision, though. Being a little more removed from the situation, it's easier to be objective. Light Observer says, Josh has demonstrated poor ethics as a person. It should make you at least question his ethics when it comes to your business as well. OP responds, thing is, despite how bad of a boyfriend he was, he's never messed up at work. I worry about the message it sends to the rest of the team that personal life problems endanger your job. I've had a lot of employees over the years have relationships and marriages fail at times. Realistically, some have probably cheated, but I've never disciplined someone for how they handle their personal relationships.
It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about the fact that this guy cheated on your sister weeks after you promote him. After he already did. So he starts, then a couple weeks later, cheats on your sister. Then a couple weeks later, you promote him. That's the issue here. That's the issue. It has nothing to do with, I fire everyone who cheats on someone.
See, the thing is, if the promotion wasn't up for grabs, like say this guy didn't get sick or whatever and had to leave, he wouldn't have promoted him. So he have gotten the promotion. or would he have just gotten fired?
Yeah, what would you have done if that guy hadn't left?
Yeah, it just looks bad. The promotion looks really bad after all of that happened.
Yep.
That just seems wrong to me. If I had just hired him, it'd be one thing, but he's worked for me for 2 years without... Okay.
2 years?
Did we not read the timeline right?
I don't understand the timeline then.
Yeah.
Back to the timeline.
Let's go back in time. Beep, bop, bop, beep, bop, bop. Oh, okay. 2 years ago, hires Josh.
Oh, day
one, old employee takes short leave.
It is a couple weeks into we just didn't realize how long it had been. But a couple weeks into working there, he cheats on OP's sister.
So he hires him. Day one, he already is like taking this position.
Yes.
And then a couple weeks later, finds out he's cheating. And then 3 weeks after that, the old employee is like, can't come back. And so then he's like, 2 weeks later, I'm going to promote him.
That's the crazy thing to me. Looking back at the timeline, we went back in time. We checked the facts. He didn't know that the guy was leaving until after Josh had already cheated, right?
Yes.
So it wasn't even an issue. You kept him on after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a crazy thing to me.
That's true. Yeah,
and maybe you couldn't have legally done that, but like you haven't said that.
That's
you haven't told us.
I
that
don't know.
You would have to like fire him with cause or whatever. So that feels like to me that's not an issue.
I also didn't think of it like legally how it could go, because you can't just fire someone
with no cause.
Yeah. Yes. So, or you can literally get sued and blah, 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 all that.
But OP hasn't said that's an issue. So I wonder if he can do that and he just didn't want to.
Turbulent Being 5212 says, come on, dude. If your sister employed someone who your wife cheated with, you would feel betrayed. You're willing to be unethical for yourself, but not for your sister. Your argument is personal versus professional life doesn't stand up. You're using it as a crutch. And why exactly are you not emotional here? Your little sister got extremely hurt by someone. It's crazy you're so objective. My take is that you're her big brother. You're supposed to protect her and be in her corner. If someone had cheated on me, I think it would be difficult to keep my brothers from not beating him to a pulp, let alone giving the dude promotions and being all buddy-buddy with him.
Yeah, also, how are you treating him while he's in office?
Yeah.
You know? Because if you're giving a promotion, that feels like you're working fairly close with him. Are you been all buddy-buddy? Are you like, hey, Josh, my guy, another great day from the Joshster. Excellent work in all areas of your life, Josh.
Especially with my sister. Screw her, I hate her.
Yeah, I don't like my sister. And also, his whole spiel about being objective feels untrue. I think he just cares more. I think like the emotional thing for him is that he cares more about his business.
Which is okay. You're allowed to care about your business. Like, that's where your money's coming from. That's where, you know, that's where you're making a living.
Just be honest about it.
It's just at the expense of your sister. You're telling me there's not one person out there that could do his job? There's not one person you could bring in and train? Maybe inconvenient in the short term, but more inconvenient in the long term to have a crappy relationship with your sister because of some dude. As for the legal aspect, do what big businesses do. Treat him crappy enough that he leaves on his own. Oh, certainly don't promote him. Increase his quality of life on your dime and then expect your sister to swallow it down and not feel betrayed. OP responds, he was already filling in doing that job before all this came out. And he was doing it better than the person before. The hiring market is tough right now to find someone with this experience. I definitely felt conflicted, but the rest of my team was vouching for how well he's doing and how much they like working for him. I do feel bad for my sister, but my business supports 7 other employees' livelihoods, supports my wife and 3 kids, and my parents whose housing expenses I pay for, so indirectly paying to house my sister currently. Since my dad is on disability. It's not black and white. I understand my sister is hurt. At this point, I'm more asking how I can help do damage control.
So he's like, I actually don't care about anything that you guys are saying about me betraying my sister, but what can I do where I still get what I want and also no one's mad at me for it?
That's exactly it.
Yes.
Though I think giving her space is the right move now so she can cool off. Deleted responds, look, you can't fire him for personal reasons. Your sister and your family will be pissed at you for that. And with good reason, you can't possibly deny that. Try talking with your sister and family on what you can compromise with them. I'm sure you've already explained that you made your decision purely on business reasons, and firing/demoting him is off the table given that you can be sued for that. Info, have you talked to Josh about the issue with your sister? In hindsight, never mix family and business again. OP responds, I talked to him once when it all came out. He apologized and told me he fell in love with the other woman. I told him I don't want to hear about that or ever discuss this matter at work, and that all conversations from here on out would be strictly professional. He has abided by that since. As a rule, I don't discuss the two of them with each other no matter what. The consensus is not the a-hole, and there is an update.
I don't know. I don't like you, though.
I don't know. I'm kind of on OP's side.
I don't think that OP's necessarily doing the wrong thing. I just don't like him.
I just feel bad that he's the one making all the money, that he has a wife and kids to provide for. He also has all these other employees to provide for.
Feels like an excuse to me.
What do you mean? That's not an excuse.
Like, it feels like he's just saying, oh, I get a new person. Like, I don't want to do the work to get a new person.
Well, yeah, because it's hard. Because he said that
I feel like he just doesn't want to do the work.
The business or the hiring market is really bad right now.
Nah, I don't believe him. I don't buy it.
I mean, he didn't even apply for the job. Sister vouched for him and was like, hey, he's looking for a job. Can you do it? And it's like, maybe, I guess. And then all that happens and it's like, yay.
You can do whatever you want, OP. Yeah, you're doing the right thing business-wise. I'll tell you that. That's all I say.
Update. Saturday night, we had a family dinner where my parents and Sarah are living. We didn't talk about the subject of the last post during dinner, but Sarah was being noticeably short with me to the point that my sons noticed. After dinner, I asked to speak in private, to which she obliged. I reiterated to her that my actions with Josh were purely about business and had nothing to do with her. She told me she knows that, and she was embarrassed at her reaction. It's just been a few really crappy months for her.
Oh, dang, wow.
Yeah.
I like her, and I still don't like you.
Basically, she told me she hates her job, is now single, and missing her former best friend. And now she's having some anxiety about never finding someone before she's too old to have kids. And meanwhile, everything just keeps seeming to get better for her ex. I have to say that really was sad to hear from her. I told her I'm always here for her and asked her what ideally she'd like to do work-wise. Well, it turns out, without getting too specific, what she would ideally like to do is something that one of my best friends has a business and needs someone to do that function. That friend owes me some favors for a jam I got them out of in the past, so I told her I'd see what I can do. Well, they connected Monday and really hit it off. They offered her a full-time position that she will now be starting in 2 weeks. She'll be making more money with better benefits, doing something she's always wanted to do. Also, on Sunday, we actually went to the amusement park with my kids, and her and I had a bit of a family day.
Okay. So, somehow you got it so that everything worked out for you. And you know what? I'm impressed. Somehow you did it. And I'm glad that you finally helped your sister. I feel like maybe you could have talked to her a while ago and then you wouldn't have had all these problems, but you didn't, and you finally talked to her.
By the way, you can benefit by listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search OK Storytime. All right, we're right at the end.
Oh boy.
She said that was great therapy for her, and what she needed was to get out of the house my parents are living in, as she was just feeling sorry for herself there. She's looking at apartments this week and is hoping to find one near me, as she loves hanging out. I'm not talking free babysitting with her nephews. Sorry, this isn't the juicy update some people who were saying she's going to go absolutely no contact with me were expecting, but it was a happy update nonetheless. I'm really excited for her to start her new job, as I think she'll be much happier there, and she has a lot to offer, so I'm sure she'll find someone as soon as she's ready to start dating again. There are some more comments.
Oh boy.
Mad for It says the only scenario where I would be more on your side on this one is if your country/state laws do not permit firing without just cause.
I agree.
Example as retribution for his actions in his personal life. Committing a violation against an Employee Protection Act and putting your business risk of actual damage, not just the inconvenience of losing a good employee who you have no replacement for at the moment, is a different situation entirely. OP responds, when I manage my business, I like to look at situations objectively. Firing Josh would have been purely revenge and would hurt him, myself, his future child, who has done nothing wrong, and the rest of my employees. It also wouldn't have helped anyone. Sarah and I talked about it, and she conceded that it wouldn't have actually helped anyone or anything either. We're all good now. I'd rather focus my energies towards helping people and accomplishing goals than hurting people out of retribution, and Sarah agrees.
Okay, I guess you won this time, OP.
OP, I don't know. I was on your side kind of the whole time.
I wasn't, but it worked out for you, so
yeah.
I was on Sarah's side, and Sarah's cool now.
I'm glad that there was like a lot of communication throughout this and figuring out and being like, you know, I feel remorseful, but like if I fire him, like that's putting so many other people in a horrible position as well, you know?
That's
so
fair.
I'm glad that you kind of, you know, you had this talk, this heart to heart, and everything's good, and she's getting out and she's doing it, and you also...
And you helped her.
Yeah, and you helped her, and you did her a
did
favor.
like that.
It all worked out. Happily ever after, really.
I would still kind of give Josh a glare in the office every once in a while.
Oh, yeah. Josh, screw him. He's horrible. But anyway, that's the end of that story. And we got another one coming at it.
I asked my daughter to share her gifts with her stepsister. It didn't go well.
Maybe she doesn't want to share.
I, 40 female, was a single mother to my daughter, Amy, 15 female. I came out 3 years ago and married my wife, Jenna, 42 female, last year. She had a daughter, Nora, 13 female. We all live together as I have full custody of my daughter. It was kind of hard for her to adjust to having a second mom, but they got along well. By the way, this comes from Emotional Duty 5051, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And OP says, the girls have their birthdays very close, only 2 days apart. So we decided to have a joint birthday party for both of them, since Nora had a hard time making new friends. They moved in with us, and she's very shy. Most of my family lives out of the country, so the gifts were sent a week early. It was a huge bag with at least 20 gifts. The party was nice, and we opened the bag at night once everyone left. Jenna handed out the presents as she took them out. After 12 gifts in a row just for Amy, I checked the bag and froze to see that there were only one gift for Nora from my parents. She pretended it wasn't a big deal, but as she opened the present, I saw her face fall. It was a $15 tumbler from Walmart. Not to sound ungrateful, but Amy's gifts were much more expensive. Lots of gift cards over $100, a new phone? Who got her a new phone?
She gets a phone, this girl gets a tumbler.
Limited edition Funkos, designer clothes, and lots of cards wishing her a happy birthday. Needless to say, I blew up in the family chat, calling out my parents, siblings, and extended family who sent gifts for not considering Nora and my parents for the cheap gift. No one took me seriously since it's not our duty to give gifts to someone else's kid. And Amy deserved them, since I didn't even throw her own birthday party, emphasizing that Jenna and Nora are my problem, not theirs. Nora was clearly hurt, since it's not the first time my family has left her out. At night, I asked Amy to share some of the gifts with her stepsister. Not all of them, just a couple of gift cards and some of the new clothes. Amy refused. This surprised me since she never had a problem with sharing, and even though she and Nora are not BFFs, they usually get along. After asking why, Amy started crying, saying that she never wanted a joint birthday party and that I forced her to share everything with Nora. That is really fair of her to say.
Because they are two different people. That's why I feel bad, like, when I, was with the twins and everything. They will never have, like, they'll always have a joint, yeah. And I'm like, and they always get just the same things from everyone. Aww. It's like, okay, I got a shirt, you got a shirt. I got, football gloves, you got football gloves. Yeah. I got, a car, like a remote car, you got a remote car. It's the same gifts. They just both have to have them.
Why would you even need two of the gifts anyway?
Yeah,
just
exactly.
They're brothers.
Yeah.
They would probably just share.
No, that was a thing. They were very much like, no, they each need to have like their own thing. Like they don't share. Oh, even wow. Like food. Like if we had like if I would make fruit or something and just like cut it up for them, I would have to put it on separate plates for them to eat. Like they won't just like pick out, they're like, no, they need their own. I don't know, but now they don't share. So yeah, I guess make them feel individual or something, but they don't even like if, say I gave them the wrong things and like I switched it, they wouldn't eat it. They're like, no, you gave it to him. I'm not touching that. No, I'd be like,
that's ridiculous. They share a room for space and I make sure they're both invited to the same parties and sleepovers so that Nora won't be left out. I'm just going back really quick.
Yeah.
There is a 2-year age gap. Nora is 13. Amy is 15. If I were 15, I don't know if I would want a 13-year-old coming to all of the same events as me.
That's true.
Like, yeah, they're sisters, but Amy probably wants to hang out with her own friends.
Yeah, just because Nora's like, like a little shy and a little more introverted doesn't mean that you should also put Amy at that expense as well.
Exactly.
And now have Amy share all of her friends with Nora. Like it's not fair in that way. They both have individual identities. You can't just, because it works for you guys, just do a joint birthday. Like, no, they're two different people.
Mhm.
And they also don't even have the same birthday.
I wouldn't have done the joint birthday.
Yeah.
If they don't invite both of them, then neither of them goes. That's so messed up.
Yeah, what?
That genuinely is really, you're the a-hole for that, OP. Amy can't hang out with her friends because her sister stepsister hasn't even been in her life that long, wasn't invited? Amy stated that she at least wanted her own gifts to be hers alone. I scolded her for being selfish with her stepsister, grounded her, and took a couple of the presents to give to Nora. You're an a-hole. She turned them down because she didn't want problems with Amy, and it felt like pity. It was. This was you giving her pity gifts.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like, no, I want her included. I'm taking your stuff. When that's her stuff. Like, and it's her birthday. And they're 2 years apart. And, that's her family. You can't expect her family to give your extended family, gifts as well. Like, I mean,
yes.
my parents would, but that's just, they don't want anyone to go without.
Absolutely. But like, would your parents let's say your parents knew someone for maybe 2 years, would they give them the same amount of gifts as they give you?
Oh, no. I mean, like, I would have more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I totally understand why you're upset that Nora's feeling left out. And to a certain extent, I think that she was left out, which is not okay. But there is going to be a difference because Nora hasn't been in the family's life for very long.
And I don't even know if they've met Nora, because they said that most of her family's out of the country.
Yeah. So have they all even met Nora?
So it's like they aren't close with her. They don't really know much about
what
her.
She likes, probably.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. And so it's like there's not really a relationship there. So they don't owe that to her. But like obviously it is like the nice thing to do.
Yeah.
To send something. But obviously the ones that you have a special relationship / connection with, like those are the ones you're going to go above and beyond.
Exactly. They're not going to send Nora, a girl they don't know, a iPhone.
It's like how I think of it is like, okay, so like my parents like will give all of us like presents for Christmas, and then but she also gives all of the cousins like presents for Christmas, but each of them just gets like one.
Yes.
But I obviously, like, everyone in my family gets, like 10 or something. It just really depends like how expensive or whatever. But like I feel like that makes sense.
That's reasonable.
Like, yeah, you don't have to give as much to them as you do to me since I am your child.
And if Nora feels left out, then you and her mom as the parents need to go above and beyond for her.
Yeah.
Not just steal Amy's gifts.
Yeah, and you can't just like expect the family to just do that for you,
Since then, Amy has been cold to all of us. I just want my 2 girls to be closer with the joint party and have the same things. Am I the a-hole? Yeah. And we've discussed it. Clarification, Jen and I bought gifts for the girls, their own tablets, as well as their friends. Nora also received gifts from her extended family, but they sent for Amy as well. How many did they send to Amy, though? Update! I didn't answer many questions in the comments because seeing the number of replies, I decided to make an update once things calmed down. I admit and accept that I haven't been the best mom to Amy. I love my daughter, but I always wanted a bigger family and was desperate to make it work. You were actively making it not work. I also accept that I favored Nora as I want her to recognize me as her mom's partner or stepmom. I talked to my wife and she agrees that I forced too much on the girls to share and being sisters to the point of being ridiculous with my if both of them aren't invited, neither of them goes rule. At first, she was okay with Amy including Nora in her friend group as she was always very shy and we didn't want her to be alone. But with the rule, I basically made Amy Nora's babysitter. In fact, I didn't know this. Amy went to her crying after I took away her presents and doesn't feel that I love her anymore. It made me cry. I thought we were a happy family. Later, I talked to Amy, begged her forgiveness, and promised that I would do things right from now on. She forgave me very quickly. See, it was that easy, OP. It was that easy. She just wanted you to listen to her. I also asked how she really feels about the blended family. She said that she really likes Jenna, but doesn't feel anything special towards Nora. I thought they loved each other. Turns out not. They barely tolerate each other. I asked her why, and Amy said, I've only known her for a year, and she's kind of weird. Later, I talked to Nora to apologize for the party and everything else. She was upset, but she also forgave me. Nora also confirmed that they don't really care about each other. They're just polite because they live together. Based on everything that happened, we're starting to make some changes. We're going to move Amy into the basement. Since the house is small and there's only 2 rooms, she chose to have it as her bedroom. We'll throw Amy her own party next month as she wanted. Nora didn't want to have one. And needless to say that if both of them aren't invited, neither of them goes rule no longer exists. But you know what does exist? Full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I think it was a real eye-opener for OP.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad that you took the advice of others of just being like, dude, you can't just control. You can't just be like, yeah, you're going to be friends and you're going to like it and your friends are going to come. And I know you don't have any, but like you can go in with them. And if like you don't want to, then no one's having anything. Like that's way too controlling. It's giving helicopter mom.
Agreed.
And I just don't, that's never a good thing. Control, like you can have control. Yes, control is like a good thing sometimes, but not over control to being like, you have to love your sister after knowing her for a year.
Yeah, and if you push that, they're not gonna, they're gonna like each other even less.
Oh, exactly. That's like those kids that like, very strict parents are like, you only do this, you can't go here, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. And then they end up being so sneaky because it's like you don't let me do anything. And this is the only time I can go out and get an experience and explore and whatever. So it's like, I'm going to do it, and now I'm doing it in an unsafe way.
But we've got a little bit left. I'm proud that my girls found the place in their hearts to give me a second chance. And according to some advice I read in the comments, it was wrong of me to force them to be a family immediately. You can't force love. I should know that better than anyone. And I'm ashamed of my actions. They've been spending more time together lately, but I won't force anything. Their relationship is up to them. I don't know if this is what you expected. From the comments, most people expected Amy to go live with my parents, go no contact with me in the future, or that Jenna would divorce me and take them both. I started going to therapy a few weeks ago to work on my problems and hopefully be a better mother and wife for my family. Even if the comments were a bit harsh, I appreciate the interest and help. I honestly think you needed some harsh comments.
Yeah, I think you needed a wake-up call.
But that is the end of that story, and we've got some comments.
Oh.
And these comments are from the story, My Mother's Boyfriend Made Me Realize How Insecure My Stepmother Is. And this was posted February 13th, 2026. TLDR for story 1, OP grew up feeling unwanted in her dad's house because her stepmom treated her like she did not belong. She was left out of family trips, pushed out of Christmas photos, and even called a weekend daughter. Oh, her dad kept pictures of her hidden in his office, but never truly stood up for her. When her mom's boyfriend showed her what real care looks like, OP realized the way she was treated was not normal. After one more Christmas without her, she finally confronted her dad. He chose his wife over her. So OP made a choice too. She walked away from the house and said she'll not come back as long as her stepmom is there. If you're curious to know the full story, you can go watch the full video. We've got a comment from Fly Girl Medic who says, as a stepmom in a stepmom group, I don't know what group she's talking about, but the one I'm in would absolutely tear into this stepmom for treating OP like that. My stepsons are my sons too. It breaks my heart that people are out there justifying treating a child this way. And Joy Hot to Jaw says, the 17-year-old gal should be proud. She's dealing with the father stuff at 17. I pushed it down until my 40s. And comment 4 from Smile5210, I would be livid if my partner prioritized me over our daughter. Mariana says, I've always thought your spouse should come first, but that only works if you actually choose a good one. Someone who isn't selfish, isn't greedy, and would never put your kids in a bad spot. If you don't have that, the whole thing doesn't work. When your priorities are clear, you can look at situations more in the sense of it as a want or a need. And just because your spouse comes first doesn't mean your kids come last. It just means you value both parties. You protect your kids, you support your partner, and you make choices that are good for the whole family. And that is the end of that story and those comments. And the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
And we love you.
And see you tomorrow. Hey, don't leave yet. We've got some stories that we think you'll enjoy, so stay tuned for the next one.
My jealous sister tried to ruin my marriage. When that failed, she took me out of the will. Wow.
Dude,
No wedding, no will.
Dude.
I have a mother who is very sick and an older sister who is extremely toxic and full of envy. She is 1 year older than me, and when we were growing up, she was the prettiest of the three of us. But I developed into a womanhood a little earlier, so during those early teenage years, boys that she liked would come after me. Anywho, I never asked for that attention, and I would tell her. By the way, this comes from Majestica25 on the r/OKStorytime subreddit. It got to a point when she was pushing me out of her social circle, which was impossible, and also started talking smack about me. I felt extremely betrayed because prior to this, we used to be besties and would share everything, and it seemed like puberty turned her into a totally different person. Now she is a fully grown, beautiful woman, a slimmer and prettier version of me, and we are now grown-up adults, but I'm getting this strange vibe that she has still not forgiven me. A few examples are as follows. A. My husband is a Muslim. When I introduced him to the family, she said, "He will cover you up and abuse you. You just wait and see." Oh.
What?
Oh.
So she's also racist?
Oh, no.
Oh my
Oh, no.
gosh.
Oh, no. First, I felt offended because she knew that I was happy, so if you do not have anything positive to say, why speak in the first place? But I told myself that she is being protective, so I told her he is not like that. B, my husband got her gifts for the house. These were very well intentioned because she is part of my family and he wanted to treat her as such. She told me, "Your husband pampers me so much. Look at what he got me. He always makes me laugh."
So we're gonna
Interesting,
like be that way, but then also flirty?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Maybe it's just a long plot to get with the husband. Dude. Firstly, I knew what he got her because it was his way of respecting my family. Secondly, he never joked with her but would give her exaggerated respect. But I felt like it was said to imply that he is hitting on her. I told my husband to not be too friendly with her, and he did not understand why. I did not want to tell him that while we were our siblings and our relationship may look normal, she has in the past seen me as a competition. C, a few weeks ago, I wore a new dress for a holiday dinner with the family. He told me that I looked beautiful. After that, he came up to me and said, "You are my white woman fantasy." She overheard him say that, and I noticed that she tensed up. After he left, she asked me, "Did he call you his white woman fantasy?" I just laughed. She told me that have some respect for yourself. This man has some sort of sick fetish and he needs therapy. That pissed me off and we had an argument.
So we go right back into the other side. She's just like a clock. She just goes.
Yep. Exactly. She went around telling a whole lot of people that this guy has no respect for his wife and called her his white woman fantasy. Oh my goodness. And
The fact that I've heard that 3 times in the last 30 seconds is insane.
Yeah, this is a lot. She just sharing that with the whole town. Oh my goodness.
Golly.
And how he would call his wife something that is so racist. When the news reached my mom, she called me to ask what was happening and why did your husband insult you like that? My mom is sick and has a hard time speaking. I did not want to stress her out, so I just told her that it is nothing. I am the wife here and only I get to decide what I will find offensive. Good point. No one in the family, and especially not my sister, has the right to take offense on my behalf. Couples have their bedroom language and say things to each other, which, if overheard, can be taken way out of context. I mean, if a man calls his wife, "You are my beautiful bee," just saying, then it is no one else's business. Just like baby talk.
Yep.
No one's business.
Yeah, we keep that in the bedroom, right?
Why? Don't look at
Your
me.
mom is in the chat.
Your mom is literally
Your mom is in the
I'm
chat.
sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Continuing. My mother is not well and I want the rest of her days to be drama free. But I am fuming because I am sensing that all these years my sister was fine, but she saw me with my husband and turned into the same insecure little hoo-ha that she was. And she decided to do this at a time which is sensitive to me and my family.
Yeah. What's her prerogative here?
I mean, let
I
us
know
know in
she's
the chat what
jealous.
you guys think.
Is it just because she's jealous?
Probably because like all the guys that she wanted went after the sister, and so maybe she's just like jealous that she's in a happy relationship, even if she like doesn't want the husband. Maybe she's just like, I was supposed to get married first or something like that. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I've heard people say they want themselves married before their younger siblings are,
Yeah, that's a thing,
and they'll get mad.
Yeah, part of me says this is not the time to raise such issues, and I should swallow all of this to take care of my mother. Another part of me says this behavior will get from bad to worse because my sister is constantly going up on the ladder of escalation. She has been talking about my husband to some people in my family who have suppressed racist tendencies. Interesting. So she's complaining about racist stuff with people who have racist tendencies. They thrive on toxic stupidity such as this. I'm thinking I should leave everyone and go back because I moved temporarily to my hometown since my husband and I both have remote work. This move is proving a bit too toxic for me. I do not want to abandon my mom as she can barely speak. I honestly do not know what to do. And there is an update, but what?
Man.
What does she do?
2 options.
What are the 2 options?
Fight fire with El Fuego.
Oh boy.
What does that even mean in this context?
Fight fire with fire. You do what she's doing to you somehow. You like
So
outsmart her.
like go to the, I mean, I don't even know if the sister is like
You go
in a
to everyone
relationship.
she's talked about your husband not respecting you, and you say, "Oh, did you hear that OP like hates dogs and just like invested into a
OP
dog
Dakota?
shelter?" I'm just trying to figure
Yeah.
out what to say here. Just invested into a dog shelter.
Listen.
Didn't you hear that?
Wow. Yeah, just spread rumors. Watch the world burn.
I think so. I think if you want to get back at her, it'll work because she's just spreading a lot of rumors about
Listen.
you. Or
Yeah.
the second thing, you just like be the bigger and better person, I guess, and just ignore it and just
Yeah.
like don't let it take any of your time.
I mean, definitely at least talk to her and just be like, hey, what the heck is going on? You know,
Yeah.
why are you doing this? Like, it's not, the big issue is a joke and it's, you know, something that's private and we don't need to be discussing that with the whole entire family if you don't know what's really going on. Okay? Because that's definitely a big issue, especially with things adding up. Like, you can definitely confront her about that. Like,
Oh yeah.
this is like not just one thing. Things have been going on. Do you have a problem with my relationship?
Yeah.
And go into that. But there is an update, so let's see if she makes any of those moves. Firstly, many thanks to those who replied to my earlier thread. Your suggestions emboldened me to make a decision. I told my husband that my sister and I are butting heads and he should maintain his distance from her because she is a very hateful and envious person. He asks me why, and I told him that she feels I took potential boyfriends away from her when she is growing up and she has a hate crush on you. He was obviously very surprised, but he said he sensed some tension. Then I went to my mother's room and tried to explain to her all that my sister had been up to. My mom is in that phase where she is coming and going, so I had to wait for her to be alert. Then I told her that there is nothing wrong between me and my husband, and he is very respectful to me. My husband cannot see me happy, so she is creating drama. And as I was explaining this to her, my sister walked in and started yelling at me in front of my mom. Oh my gosh.
Your elderly mother.
Yeah. She does not need that stress right now.
What?
Oh my
Let her be in
goodness.
peace.
Yes. She said that my mom was doing much better before I walked in here with my inappropriate husband, and I am trying to take over her place when she has been here all this time taking care of my mom. I told my mother that whatever inappropriate stuff my husband has said was for my ears, and she keeps tabs on our private conversations because I have a man who loves me and she can't stomach. Boom. Mic drop. Mic drop. Boom. My sister was like, no woman with any self-respect and dignity will ever stay with a man who calls her his white sloot. Note, my husband never called me that. Ever. She was now inventing lies and putting them into his mouth to make him look disrespectful. I told my mom that she sees that I have a good marriage while she can't keep a man, and now she has a hate crush on him. Things got really heated after that because I had figured her out and she didn't like it. I felt so bad that all this drama was happening in front of my mother, who is not even in her senses fully. My husband was coming up the stairs and my sister violently pushed me out of the room towards him and said, "Here, go F your white woman fantasy," and slammed the door and started speaking to my mom.
No, she's just
Wow.
gonna be working your mom
That's
down. No.
Crazy. What the heck? So first she's like, you know, worried for her sister being like, I don't know, objectified or something like that, or disrespected. Then she uses the same things to disrespect her sister. I was so furious. I was going to go in and let her have it in front of my mom. Thankfully, my husband was there and he just held me and said, "You have done all you can. We have no business staying here anymore." Wow. After that, we packed up our stuff and left for our home. I was crying on the way because I felt like that was the last time I would see my mom. Secondly, the comments I had received on my earlier post really opened my mind to how twisted my sister is. She can lust for a man and hate him at exactly the same time. The way she threw me out of the room at him and what she said to him sounded like they are both married and I am the mistress in the middle. WTF? Yeah, that's such a good way to put it. It really did look like that. As I'm looking back to all her interactions with my husband, I'm realizing that she always had a lustful hate for him, and I was so blind to not see that. I always thought that she hated him for being a Muslim, and when she gets to know him and get gifts from him, then they would be fine, but now I'm seeing it all for what it is. We were on our way when the snowstorm began, so we stopped at a hotel, and I am still there. My cousin called me and said that your sister has taken you out of the will. I was like, how? He said that she had typed a will, got in there probably with her lawyer, wrote the house and the second property to her name, and had mom sign it. Oh my gosh. So she just rewrote the mom's will. Oh my goodness. That is like feels illegal in so many ways.
I think you can investigate this after the mom passed or whatever. Be like, hey, I think you can
she was with the
legally do. She was a.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's insane.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. I was like, Mom is sick, but she is not that sick. My cousin said that after you guys fought, her condition sort of went down. And when she comes back, she is not fully alert. She would not know what she is signing. Oh my gosh. Because of the stupid, like the sister yelling in front of the mom, probably making her more stressed.
So in a way,
and
the
making her
sister
more sick.
has passed away the mother.
Well, she's not passed away just yet, but
basically
definitely-
put her in a state of being passed away.
Well, yeah, a little more declined, but you know what will never pass is more episodes just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Search OK Storytime. You'll find full episodes, stories just like this one. There is a little bit more. Should we just jump right into it?
Yeah, go please. Yes.
All right. I do not know if it is true, but from what I've seen of my sister and what she has become, she is capable of doing that. I just want to know what my legal options are. If that signature has been obtained, then what do I need to do? I hate to start a fight over while my mom is still breathing, but I'm extremely stressed out and upset due to all of this. But that's the end of the story.
Icky wicky.
Oh my gosh.
Get her investigated. Yes.
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 Absolutely. God, that's so twisted.
I want to know how much she got left out of, because in my mind this was all happening in like a 17-bedroom mansion with multiple wings in it, and she's like,
millions
"Go
of
be
dollars.
with your white or
Yeah.
you know whatever." That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Definitely like a
Soap opera.
Soap opera. Absolutely.
My entitled sister demands I fund her lavish lifestyle, so I cut her off.
I hope it was with a gilded pair of scissors.
Haha, nice. So for background, I, 25 female, have an older sister, 40. Yes, there is a 15-year age gap. That's mama was fertile. My parents got married at 21 and didn't have my sister until they were 31, and that was with them trying for the whole 10 years. Wow. By the way, this comes from True Description 9673, and you can submit your story on r/OKStorytime. So they never thought they would have any more children, and then I came along when they were 46. That is a fertile woman.
That's
Sorry to comment on that.
that's
I'm
impressive.
I'm shocked, bro. That needs to be to quote
It's like
the Great Dakota. That needs to be studied.
that's like what is that like an Amazonian type thing? Like,
Oh, yeah.
really? Ooh.
Goddess energy. Now, my parents are now 71 and aren't in terrible health, but not the greatest health either. You may ask if my sister had any hard feelings about me when I was born. I honestly don't know. She moved out at 18. I was 3 years old. My sister is exceptionally stubborn and, from what I understand, always butted heads with her dad just on what she wanted versus what they had. And my parents are hardworking, honest individuals. My dad owned a small construction company. My uncles and cousins worked for him, and my mom worked as his receptionist/secretary. Family business. It was company run out of our home. So mom was with her children at home. So a working stay-at-home mom, I guess. My parents kept a roof over our heads, clothes on our backs, and food on the table. And we had basic cable on one TV and no internet in our home until I was 12 in 2008.
I really have to quickly say that was a stay at work from home mom. Thank you.
What are you?
Congratulations! It's Dakota, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Oh, so it wasn't the most luxurious life, but we had it better than a lot of people. We still lived in poverty, but my parents knew how to save and stretch. I know how to as well. My sister, on the other hand, never grasped at the idea. Usually, this is the inverse. Usually, it's the older one that went through the hardships, and then the parents got money and figured life out, and then the youngest is spoiled. This is an interesting inverse.
It is
Quite
it
an
is
inverse.
kind of It's interesting.
So now my sister moved out at 18, took the money my parents saved for her since she was a baby. It was only about $7,000, but would have been enough at the time for a semester at a state university and a reliable used car. Did she use that money for that? No. She got an apartment, which was fine, but she assumed this was enough to live a year on without getting a job. Is this 1940?
Yeah, I think I was about to make a comment about like, wow, wouldn't it be nice to be able to pay for a whole semester and a decent car for $7,000 back in 2008?
Let alone
like,
a year of rent?
It's like, good. Just think there are a couple more zeros attached to that?
Yeah. We need some more zeros.
We need at least one.
Oh, she went through it in a month. $7,000 in a month. Wow.
Actually, you did need another one.
She didn't want to go back home because she thought our life at home was horrible. She couldn't have a TV/VCR in her room. She couldn't have a cell phone unless she paid for it, which at the time was kind of expensive, $19.99. She couldn't buy the clothes brands that she wanted. She couldn't buy all the CDs and VHS tapes she wanted. You get the idea.
Wow, she burned through $7,000 in 1999 in a month.
Keon, can we get a quick conversion on what that is today?
I mean,
1999, 7K? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the same thing today as it was then. It's called financial illiteracy.
That means stupid.
Yeah. Or
that means he's stupid.
Or just blatant irresponsibility.
$7,000 from 1999 to today's rate.
Yes.
Is about 13K.
Dang. It's like spending $3,000 a week.
I gotta get back to the story. She thought that daddy could give her everything she wanted in life. So she moved in with her friends and kept couch surfing until her friends got sick of her. Now, you have to remember, I was a small child and didn't really know all the details, but this is kind of what has been told to me by my family and family friends. So my sister finally gets a job. It's minimum wage and she thinks that it's below her, but she now needs the money. From the time I was 3 until I was 13, I saw my sister once a year at Christmas. She wouldn't bring any gifts for us, but expected at least 3 from each of us and would get mad when we didn't, or she didn't think that they were good enough. She would ask to borrow money, which my parents didn't have that much extra. They wanted to save some. She never acknowledged our birthdays, but we had to send her gifts and call her, etc., etc. She didn't want to see us on her birthday. She had to celebrate by getting wasted with her friends. She's like, send me the gifts, but I don't want to like see you. Can you just like put a bag over your head and like give me some money?
Yeah, can you have a courier deliver that, please? I don't want to look you in the eyes.
I can't look at you do.
It makes me feel...
When I was 13, I started babysitting to add to my savings that my parents had started for me, like they did my sister. She started calling to talk to me and ask me for money. Quick maths, 13 plus 15, it's 28. Could you imagine, Dakota? You have a 13-year-old sister. You know, she's working hard. You're like so proud of her, right? You're like, hey, give me some money.
Be like,
Okay, here you go.
Yeah,
I love you.
You're the one.
Oh.
You're the one asking for money. Could you imagine you doing that?
no.
Right?
No. No,
Yes.
make your money.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't rely on 13-year-olds when you're almost into your 30s.
Yeah.
Now, I babysit a few times a month for a couple of hours. I wasn't rolling in money. I always said no, that I was saving it for college. She said to me that I was just like mom and dad and saying no, then whined and complained that she's family and I should help her out. She had a job and roommates to share expenses. And at 28, no car. I found out later that she was letting her guy friends borrow money that they never paid back for her to get them to like her.
It sounds like this person is lying about having a habit that they are paying for.
Oh.
SUBSTANCE.
Some rugs?
Yeah, all my guy friends who I paid money to get them to like me. Are you sure that's what she was doing? Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm seeing like 2 or 3 scenarios, all of which are horrendous.
There's no real winner here.
Everybody's losing. So this was the type of thing that went on for years. Fast forward to me graduating high school a year early and being valedictorian, I decide to use the scholarship money to go to a local community college because I didn't want to go into one of the better schools that I got into. Sister thinks this means that my money is up for grabs. Oh, you're going to a cheap school, you say? I was not yet 18, so the account could not transfer over to me. That's an ICU. Mom and dad, again, tell her no for money, and she says she deserves to go on a cruise with her friends, and she can't afford it. She deserves it. Mom told her it wasn't my fault, and she could have saved instead of buying stuff she didn't need or lending her money. Sister whined and complained how they're family and how she's just not as loved as her little sister, who's obviously the favorite, which they raised us according to our personalities, but with equality in terms of morals, values, and money. She said I was spoiled because I had more money in my account than she had. At the time, I had been working at a restaurant for a year and put my own money into my saving. When you work, more money comes to your bank account.
Oh,
that's how it works.
no, you're just spoiled rotten with your job.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. You're doing labor. You're picking up people's dirty plates and having rude people be rude and that stuff.
Yeah, what are you, a little princess?
I don't even know how she found out what I had in there. I think she had snooped through the house and found the bank book. She had a tendency to do that. She was always looking for cash. I'm pretty sure she stole some a few times. My parents had gotten creative with hiding it. I once found cash in the freezer labeled spinach. I had been looking for the actual frozen spinach to make a veggie egg white omelet. Thank God she didn't grind that up. So for my graduation present, my parents and I used some of the money to get me a used reliable car for college and work. My sister thought it was a huge betrayal.
Oh, you don't say.
A huge betrayal, Dakota.
Uh-huh, well, let me guess, because it's not her money? Because she's not just getting like a Scrooge McDuck like level of money poured on her, like gold coin?
You bought,
is that what
you're telling me you bought, wait, you forgot some, dudes. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, please hit me with it.
Sis doesn't even have a car yet.
Oh.
You have the audacity to give my little sister a car before me, an adult?
A 28-year-old woman.
Dakota, it's not like I could have used those 10 years to maybe scrounge up enough cash to get a car in a decade.
Well, that would be impossible.
I didn't have a decade. I only had 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay?
I have to lend all of my guy friends money so that they'll like me. You think I can afford a car? I'm trying to make friends. What are we what universe are we living in?
Honestly, it's sad now. Now I'm just like, yes, she's terrible, but like, God, get a friend, please.
I need some friends who would pay me.
Right? Where are these friends? Oh my God. So my sister thought this was a huge betrayal to her, even though she had that option. When it was pointed out to her, it was like she had forgotten. Oh, she was also mad that I didn't have a curfew. You think that might be favoritism, but it's just difference. I had 2 close friends and we did everything together. If we were out late, it was because we went to the movies and saw 2. We hung out in the local used bookstore and always told our parents where we were. I had also used some of the money to get a cell phone and I was paying for it myself. I planned on living at home, yes, rent-free, as long as I continued to help with chores, cleaning, cooking and laundry, mowing, shoveling, etc. And my sister would have had that option too, but she just chose to leave. My parents tried to offer her that when she was packing to leave, but she just wouldn't listen. So fast forward to now, present day.
Here we go.
Because remember, sister's now 41,
15.
15. Opie's now 25, and there's a 15-year age gap. That's 40, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a job in my chosen field. I make okay money. It will increase after a few years, but I've only been at it for 4 years. I still live with my parents, do most of the household chores, and pay most of the bills. Mom and dad are retired, getting Social Security payments. So we get by, and I am still able to save some money for me, but by no means are we well off. The last couple of years has seen my mom getting a serious surgery that took her months to recover from and had a 2-month hospital stay, and dad getting an ulcer and severe UTI. Ooh, at the time. Goodness gracious.
That's a horrible combo.
Oh, truly. Now, we have been safe and careful following all the mandates for the pandemic situation, that is. I do work from home, but I did that sometime before the vid, so it wasn't that hard to switch over. We are all good and boosted
We are
now.
all of the words that are related to doing the stuff that you do.
All the boosters. Yeah, boosters should work.
Because those words aren't good words to say
they
out
have
loud.
Booster seats, so we can get away with it.
Indeed.
So over the last 2 years, my sister has been even more of a pain asking for money. Now, please note that she is now married, but he does not have a job. Never has. And they let a moocher friend live with them, and she provides them with food stamps, and she does nothing else.
Never has is wild. You're married with no job ever?
Yeah.
How do you get married with no job ever?
And if she's 40.
I know how. Doing the substance dance.
Spicy dances.
Dancing in the moonlight with the black
Well, are we
market
spicy
trades.
dancing, or are we doing spicy rugs?
I think they're selling spice like Dune.
Selling spice.
Like Dune. Yeah. They're shipping the spice out.
Shipping the spice out.
Because there's no way that, and that would also connect the dot of like why she's so desperate for money is it's like she's clearly involved with some kind of substance use habits. And I would bet you that the guy that she married does the same thing, which is why he's unemployed and married.
What a life to live.
You know, that's just what I see. I probably should have done a little ICU for that one.
So her husband doesn't know the value of a dollar either. He sits at home on his butt watching TV or sleeping all day, and the roommate sleeps all the time. That's their job. No one does housework, so the house is falling apart. Her job pays about $2,500 a month, but after mortgage, utilities, car payments, insurance, gas, 3 iPhones with the max amount of everything, 4 TVs with cable, vet bills for their 13 cats that are always sick. There isn't much left for food.
Who is this human being?
After all that, guys, there isn't much left over for food.
You're going to have to start eating the cat food.
Guys, I'm sorry. Brothers, my brothers in Christ, could we imagine bringing home $2,500 a month, having 14 cats, cable, 3 iPhones?
What world is that? What world are they living in?
Dude. Oh. So when they had an electrical problem and couldn't be at their home for a week, I did help them pay for a cheap motel, and I have gone to Aldi website to order and have some groceries delivered to them about 6 times just because I didn't want them to go hungry. They asked during the pandemic while mom and dad were taking care of their hospital bills while I was helping them out. I didn't really have extra to spare, but hey, I didn't want them to be on the street or go hungry. So now my sister expects me to buy their groceries every week. Let's take a quick pause here. So I feel like we've gotten a pretty decent picture in unfortunate detail. What do we do here, Dakota? Now she is now asking for, we did the nice thing, the thing that we didn't have money for. We just, maybe we lost money that month, but we're like, hey, whatever, dipped it to our savings to help you. Now she wants it every month.
I would go with hey, tell me what an honest day-to-day is, and if you can't be honest with me, I'm not even going to entertain this. If you cannot be real with me, and we cannot have a frank discussion about what's wrong with your life, because there are things that have gone wrong that now need to be addressed and changed. Like maybe your husband, who's jobless and sleeps all day.
Do we go low or no contact yet at this point, at this juncture?
I would probably say maybe low. I definitely wouldn't go out of my way to include this person.
Yeah.
But clearly they haven't changed at all for 15 plus years.
Indeed.
So
yep.
Sounds like they've just been trying to live life on easy street their whole life. Oh, I've got $7,000. I can make that last for the year. That's unhinged. That is truly the most.
Ben spins it in
An alien comes down to Earth, and even that alien knows it was $7,000 isn't going to last a year on this planet.
Well, we get to discover what does actually happen. Mind you, they all eat way too much. And for 3 people, the bill from Aldi is about $175 a week, and that place is cheap, okay? I kept saying no, and I kept getting called a heartless bee. She also thinks that I'm jealous of her and her husband because I am not married. Their relationship... Yeah. Yep. Their relationship is a mess, and there's nothing to be jealous of anyways. But you know what you should be jealous of?
Yeah, I do, but I'll pretend like I don't.
Is the fact that there's people who already know that you can go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime and listen to thousands of hours of episodes of stories just like this. But Dakota, could you give us some final thoughts here before we reach this climax?
Honestly, as soon as she's like, "You're heartless," I'd be like, you want to see heartless? Goodbye forever. Literally, you've been trying to mooch off of me my whole life, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm heartless now?
Yeah.
And be like,
Goodbye.
You're poor.
Yeah, I bought your groceries when I didn't have extra money for it.
Yeah.
Is that heartless?
Yeah, now you're trying to throw your bum husband in my face. Like what? Like that's an accomplishment that you have.
She's got nothing else, bro. She's got 13 sick cats.
You've got, and by the way, those cats need to be rehomed. You can't be taking care of 13 cats. Like what? I understand now, probably not wanting to get the authorities involved, but you're at the point where it's like they might get involved. And I bet you your mysteriously unemployed husband might not like authorities being around. I can't imagine why.
Well, you know what? Let's end this travesty. Let's see where we land. Let's see where the dust settles.
I bet, is it jail?
Could be. We still have a little story left. Sorry this is so long. I just had to get all of us off my chest. I have not helped her out in 6 months and have blocked her, but she still calls on the landline that my parents have insisted on keeping. Come on, guys. It's 2025. I am not complaining here, more like venting because I know others deal with this. The part that bothers me the most is how did she end up so entitled when my parents aren't and didn't treat her in any way that would make her entitled. They encouraged her with hard work and independence. My parents, after saying hi and good to know you're still alive, hung up on her now. too. So basically the conclusion was everyone's essentially no contact, which I think at least like low contact until you can prove you're not cuckoo for Cocoa
Yeah,
Puffs.
until they're like reincarnated into their next life, and
Right.
then I guess maybe have a chance at becoming a different person.
Reincarnated. That's what has to happen. My lazy sister refuses to take responsibility, but I refuse to let her ignore my boundaries.
See, 2 refusals cancel out.
My 33 female younger sister, 32 female, is extremely entitled, and it comes to a point where I don't want to deal with her behavior, but I'm unsure of how to move forward. By the way, this comes from Burnt Out Nurse. And if you want to burn out all those stories, go to our Story Time and freaking get him out of here.
Yeah.
Send him.
Yep.
So, to start, my sister is the baby in the family and has always been a bit coddled by everyone on my maternal side, including myself. We don't interact with my paternal side due to geographic distance, and they're not very kind people, but that's its own issue. When I say baby, I mean if she was nervous about anything, everyone did what they could to fix it for her. For example, in high school, the first day having to find your new classroom, well, I was expected to tell her where to go, what to expect, so that way she would have no surprises. College grades failing due to depression, and now a letter needs to be submitted to continue academics at the university. Well, her big sister can write it for her since she's too depressed to do it. Oh no. Another example, volunteered my mother and doing it because I know my sister won't if she doesn't feel like it.
Sorry, just seeing that.
Me and Keon laughed at the same time because we're the same brand of dumb.
Yeah, there was an I missing in that word.
I will say really
Critical eye.
quick here,
Yes.
showing your sibling around like the school you already went to, not an out of pocket request.
Yes.
Helping your sister who's in like a depressive episode write a very important letter that she can't figure out how to write. Really, also not that out of pocket.
I think it could be doable, but I guess it's like if it's if that's the straw that broke the camel's back, and then also too, this is your university, you know, and
There's time left for things to get crazy,
We
but
can see.
nothing absurd has been asked of OP.
You know what? I think that's fair take. I think it's fair take. Parents getting remarried and moving, so my youngest can't live in the new house anymore. Well, they let her live in my step-parents' mobile home, rent-free, covered by my mom, and they will just live in the new home. When I finished school, I did pay them enough for a lot of rent and utilities, okay? Just one thing after another. Now, don't get me wrong. She's not some evil, mean person, and only her views are real. She can be thoughtful and helpful as long as she's not inconvenienced. If she doesn't want to do something, well, then it's not her problem, and everyone else is the problem for trying to impose on her freedom, and everyone is trying to control her. And if you were wondering, I think I'm close to understanding, but can you give me something to make the picture more clear? Dakota, we have maybe not just one example, but maybe another string of examples. So you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
So, example, sister has very sporadic employment in an old car. We thought the car was about to break down and offered her, me and my mom, to give her $10,000, no strings attached, to purchase a similar vehicle because it would get good gas mileage and last a long time as well. Was she grateful? No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
She was upset that we would designate which vehicle the money would go to and that we were trying to control her. Extra details for context. She has a 2006 Prius. The converter and gas tank both broke, and we wanted to get her another one for now. After getting a paying job that lasts longer than 6 months, she could trade it in and do whatever she wants for a new vehicle. No, we're wrong. She wanted a new, brand spanking new Ford Bronco. At least brand new, I think. She doesn't do any off-roading activities that require an SUV, by the way. She can barely afford gas or mechanic bills, and we explained that was influencing our recommendation.
So really quickly, just
Yes.
want to let y'all know,
Please.
that's so terrible. 10K is not good enough for you, huh? 10K is an insult.
Earlier examples like, maybe you're being too harsh, but now with this example do you think OP's being too harsh now?
Well, I think now they're kind of like, it's kind of almost apples and oranges, I feel like, because this is like a financial thing, and the other thing was it's like, I'm expected to do everything for my sister or whatever, right? That was the vibe, right? Where it's like, I have
gets
to
everything.
show her
She's
around,
entitled.
and I have to write
She's
the letter,
entitled.
and it's like, well, now that the sister's like, oh, gross, you guys think you could just tell me what car to get when you give me $10,000, no strings attached, that I can just use for a brand new car? It's like, oh yeah, no, the sister does probably suck a lot more than whatever OP's like.
Yeah.
It was probably just the way it was typed was
we need some better
it
examples.
was negative. There was some negativity
Yeah,
bias in there. I could
that's true.
sense it, and it's probably coming from stuff like this.
That could be true. Well, Opie says we didn't want to get stuck lending/giving money for gas or paying monthly loan bills so that our money was lost to a repossession, since that cost would be more than $20,000 more for that car, and she likely wouldn't be able to keep up with the payments. So guys, come on. It does sound like not a good situation. In the end, we decided to not gift her the money, and her current vehicle is working for now. When it all goes, she'll have to figure out how to get her own transportation solution. Whew. So my biggest issue and pet peeve at the time is that my sister is a lazy and messy person, and I am a tight booty on cleaning and organizing. I'm not going to explain that. You just take the censorship. We are total opposites. When I purchased my home, I spent the money to turn my completed basement into a 2-bedroom apartment with a kitchen and bathroom, and even a separate entrance if wanted. She didn't use it. She walks through my front door each time. She paid no rent for 3 years.
That's your. Why are you letting her get away with that?
That's true.
You
But you got to evict the sister.
Your house,
That's a
your
tough one.
rules.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
Make her pay rent.
Until recently, I got so overwhelmed with the financial obligations on me, also being out of work due to a back injury at work, I gave 3 months notice and endured several arguments saying she pays or she moves.
I think that's it. I think you're either paying or you get out.
So now she pays $500 for her space with all utilities included. Dude, for a 2-bedroom basement apartment, if I'm understanding what Opie's saying correctly.
And I guarantee you she's going to be like, I'll pay it just because I love you, but this is ridiculous.
I have to pay so much. Like, can you okay, I'll pay you $500, but just give me that 10 grand again so I can
yeah.
get in a car.
It's like, can this $500 go towards a car, please?
Yeah.
It's like,
now this type of arrangement is about 3 times more in my area, so she's getting a deal. So she should be paying $1,500 a month, which that sounds accurate. Her living location does help me out because I have a dog and 2 cats. She has 1 cat, and she watches them while I work as I am a travel nurse. To make her life easier with this setup, I bought 2 cat robot litter cleaners and have pet food delivered to my door and fenced in my backyard. But now to the issue. We haven't even gotten to the issue yet. She keeps the area so messy that it spills into areas like the garage, laundry room, yes, my living room, and my kitchen because she walks through my first floor to get to the basement, despite there being having her own door. And the smell can spread if she doesn't remove the garbage in the basement. Oh boy. I probably deep clean my home once a week. Wow.
you mean clean or deep clean?
She said deep clean. That is, OP might have her own issues, but we're gonna gloss over that right now.
Deep clean.
I'm very clean. Maybe deep clean every week. That's maybe OCD.
We might be approaching that territory. And this includes other shared areas like the outdoor area too. My sister basically refuses to help and or says that I didn't ask her for help, so it's not her fault she's not helping. You didn't even freaking ask me, bro. Recently, we've been pet sitting my mom's dog, and of course, there's been a lot more cleanup required. She's a puppy and chews everything. If I say something like, go clean that, put the plant there, she'll do it. I hate this communication style. It feels so bossy, but anything else and she won't do it. Yeah, it's like, could you please do this? And she's like, well, you said please. You didn't say you have to do it. I'm sorry.
It's like you were polite, so I felt like I could ignore you.
Yeah. Be mean. Other times, she ignores something that needs to be done, even if she's looking straight at it, and it's an issue/mess. Example. More examples. My mom's dog digs in my garden and then brings her muddy paws in and jumps over all the walls and furniture.
Yeah, that's a problem.
We love that.
Now I'm starting to see why the deep clean might be happening every week.
Oh, true.
Muddy dog ruining the walls and furniture.
That's not good. That needs to be cleaned. I've had plants destroyed and had to clean up the dirt so many times, and my sister would say, it's no big deal. It doesn't even need to be done at all. Example, again, sweeping the dirt, mopping the floor, washing the dirt off the wall, etc. So I've told my sister going forward that if she puts the dog in the backyard and doesn't watch her to keep her out of the mud and garden boxes, well, then she has to fix the mess and repot the plants. Fair?
Fair. Hey, look, it's consequences for things.
This is true.
Wow.
Well, then she's suddenly more thoughtful about when she lets the dog outside rather than just opening the door and walking away. Oh my God. Wow. Who'd have thunk it?
Who knew you had to take care of the animals that you take care of? That's crazy.
No, they're AI. They do it themselves. Doesn't work like that.
My dog has thumbs. He can take care of himself.
And I know it's because she doesn't want to clean up the mess. But, the mess she told me wasn't a big deal. I'm so tired of this interaction, and I've brought up that she will need to move out if things don't change. Of course, I'm being mean and trying to control her, and it's not like she asked to live here anyways. I'm the one that offered this arrangement. I offered her a place to live, not to be her mother. I don't know how long I can have this type of relationship with my sister before it does serious and permanent damage to our relationship. I hate the idea of one day wanting no contact. Are there any suggestions on how to go forward? But before we go forward and get more details and, Dakota, dare I say, more examples, what we're begging for, I have to talk to you, my friend.
Yes.
How would you suggest OP goes forward, and would you go no contact?
You guys probably don't need to go no contact. I think that you are just like two different people. I don't think your sister's going out of her way to like ruin your life. I think you're just like, you're on opposite sides of the personality spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think clearly you guys aren't a great fit to live together.
So bad.
So I think just don't live with this person. And, I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot of, I picked it up as soon as the story started. There's just like a very intense negativity directed towards the sister, and clearly not for no reason.
Yeah.
But I think also it's like, I'm not trying to like defend the sister's behavior. Like,
right.
That's like a nightmare roommate. But like, do we have the age ranges too? It's like how much?
They're 33 and 32.
So they're almost the same age.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually, never mind. That's insane. Like, I'm sorry.
That's where you draw the line?
I'm sorry, no, but this whole time.
One age difference?
Reason,
wow, that's crazy.
In my
Everything else wasn't fine?
In my head, I was like, this is like a 19-year-old.
Right.
I'm like, they don't have any real world experience yet. I don't know how I got mixed up about that. The fact that they are both fully grown adults in their 30s.
So now.
Yeah, stop. You just.
No.
Stop it.
Low to no contact would be perfectly fine.
Honestly, I think she just needs to get her out.
Yeah.
I think there could be a world where they could be okay and don't have to go, give a space.
But I think that would hinge on the sister's behavior changing, which it won't, because the sister's just a mooch. And as soon as you stop facilitating her moochery, like, I think she's not going to have anything to say to you anyway. So
I have something that might change your tune.
Let's bump me up a couple of octaves here.
Here we go. Details. So my sister does have ADHD, depression, and she sees a therapist for this, but I think it's a yes man therapist because nothing changes. She continues to think nothing she does is a cause of tension in the family and has made no improvements on maintaining employment and positive progress among family relationships. Also, she can be very kind and generous when she wants or has resources. Between the two of us, we pay for a life insurance policy for our grandmother and pay in yearly payments. I was injured this year and living on savings, and her newest job ended recently, so she had some savings and she volunteered to pay this year's payment even though it was my turn. We switched years. Okay, that is good. That is good. That is good. By the way, if you're looking for something to help you focus, something to just keep you company, something to scratch that itch in your brain that you got, well, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to Spotify, if you go to Apple Podcasts, if you go to your favorite podcast app and you type in OK Storytime, thousands of hours of episodes, full episodes with stories just like this, Dakota.
Yep.
It's insane.
Indeed.
It's insane.
Quite right.
But this is not thousands of hours. This story is literally ending imminently.
Coming to
Actually,
an end.
we have a good chunk left. We're like 80% through. But I think I might be changing my tune.
Oh, yeah?
I think OP, she's, struggling with depression, ADHD. It's a gray area of like, okay, where's your personal responsibility and where, that kind of thing. It's a bigger discussion than we can have in a minute. But I'm going to get back to the story. When I initially injured my back at work, I was waiting to be approved for surgery. I was basically bedridden. She helped out a lot. No complaint living in my section of the house and would provide my medications or a hot pad whenever I asked her to go get them. I'm just saying that is a point in, OP's day-hole column. I'm just saying. Most of my friends are not fans of my sister and they think she's entitled and rude. She's not a mean person, just unthoughtful and a bit ungrateful. What do I need to do going forward to establish adult responsibilities and relationship between us? And we have some comments on this. So commenter 1 says, it sounds like she needs to strike out on her own to see what's been given to her. The only way for her to stop using control as an argument is to remove herself from the career role. This wouldn't have to be permanent. Her saying that she didn't ask to live there is a pretty clear message. She needs to learn to ask for help when needed. Teaching her to live independently will be a lot of work, but it is what she needs. Maybe talk to a real estate agent with her present about how much you could charge if you were putting this on the rental market, or go through apartment listings with her, as she has implied she is unhappy and doing you a favor. Her mental health concerns don't mean you have to be treated badly.
I'm kicking her out as soon as I hear, I didn't ask to live here. Great. Well, I'm going to ask you to leave.
Yeah.
How about that?
Like 3 years later, and then you're like, well, I didn't have to. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't
Everyone's-
have to deal with this.
Everyone's here.
Yeah, and everyone's, that's fair.
OP's a self-a-hole for not realizing that she's putting herself in this situation as well as the sister by like refusing to be firm in any way with her.
Commenter number 2. This is the monster you've created. Stop coddling her. Evict her. Find new tenants and use the extra money to hire a pet sitter. Yes. Commenter number 3. I think you raise her rent to market rate. Save it. Give her 3 months. This should give her enough time to find a place, and the rent money will be enough for first, last, and security. Time to her to fly. Then you get a new basement tenant that pays you market rate, and you start recouping on your investment, because remember, OP had to spend the money to make it livable. Your relationship will fuck for a bit, but in the end, you'll be sisters and friends and not a sister who is a leech. Good luck. And that's the end. I think OP sucks at least a little bit. I think in a nutshell, everyone sucks here. I think everyone sucks
Yeah, in their own way. In
their
different
own
ways.
special way.
In different ways.
Yeah.
That last comment, that was a great one. I think, definitely raising the rent.
But that's it. That's literally all she wrote.
Yeah.
And that's all we got.